Hey, Scruffy. I think I'm a little early tonight. So yeah, no rain today. So weather's a lot nicer. Sun came out. So I have more turkey treats for you. So yeah, I finished my turkey stock late last night. And I scraped off all the edible meat bits that fell off all the bones. There's so much of it, I decided I'm going to freeze it. Actually, yeah, separated it into 3 different little Ziploc bags because there was so much. Don't think Scruffy's going to be able to eat it all before it goes bad, so I figure I'll freeze it. And then I can feed it to Scruffy over a longer period of time. And the humidity is better today since it wasn't raining. I can tell his fur's not all sticking out. And then on top of the all the turkey meat that I separated from the carcass, I also have been sitting on the turkey gizzards. So I've been planning to give Scruffy the gizzards. So figured to start giving it to him tonight. So he has a combination of all the fallen off turkey bits plus a little bit of the gizzards. So I'm not sure which one I'm giving him tonight. I think it might be the liver. It was a little bigger than the other ones, so I broke it into smaller pieces. So he's not going to get the whole thing tonight. And then he has a standard meaty pate with real chicken and tuna and kibble mixture. So we got our Kirkland chicken and rice and the meow mix, as usual. I think the past couple weeks I've actually just been giving him the Kirkland, and the reason for that was there actually 2 reasons for that. So the first reason was I was starting to run low on the meow mix, and I think I actually ran out in my little container I keep inside, and I needed to refill it. But then the other issue was when I filled the cat food dispenser, I only put 1 type of kibble in there because I don't want to complicate the system. Otherwise, it might jam it. Yeah, Scruffy's really distracted. Okay, back to the pets. So, anyway, so I've been trying to deplete the Kirkland chicken and rice that was in the automated pet food dispenser. And then I refilled my containers, but I forgot to take the kibble out of the pet food dispenser. So I needed to finish depleting the dispenser before I go back into the containers, just because the containers are better at air sealing everything, so kibble doesn't go stale as fast. So I finally depleted the pet food dispenser. So tonight I actually had the fish out of my containers, and so yeah, I fished out a little bit of both Meow Mix and the Kirkland. So he's getting quite a variety of food tonight. So let's see. Oh, last night when I was leaving, so after I finished filming, I was dumping Scruffy's water, and I decided I needed. There's a plant around the corner that it's a potted plant, and it's not that exposed to the elements, so I need to remember to water that manually because the rain may not give it enough water because it's kind of sheltered. And Scruffy was hanging out there in the alleyway, and I had to walk down the alleyway to get to the plant. And yeah, Scruffy saw me. This is right after I finished filming last night. So Scruffy saw me, and yeah, he looked terrified that I was approaching him. And so I slowly took steps because I needed to get to the plant. So I was trying not to scare Scruffy. But every step I took, yeah, Scruffy hated it more and more. And he backed away a little more each time. And then finally he bolted and ran off the deck into the rain. So so that's the type of stuff you guys don't see on film that often because I'm not filming. But yeah, that's how Scruffy normally behaves when I'm not filming him at dinner. So he doesn't really trust me except when he's really hungry at dinner time. And then all other times, yeah, he's completely terrified. And not very friendly. Rather run into the rain than let me take a few slow steps towards the potted plant. And I wasn't that close to him either. So I think, yeah, there's because of the lack of that type of footage, yeah, I think there's a false impression that Scruffy's more domesticated than I think he really is. He's good at dinner, but that's about it. Because yeah, I do remember a few times in the day I have tried to offer him kibble at various times. Sometimes he eats it, but there's been a few times where I offered him kibble, and yeah, he was just completely distrusting me and wouldn't come for the kibble. And and this was still this year, and I've been doing this for over 2 years now. So it's really hard to tame Scruffy here. Probably the most difficult cat in the neighborhood, I think. Not in a violent way. So Scruffy's always pretty tame on the violence side, so he doesn't bite or scratch aggressively. But he is a real scaredy cat. Okay, I'm gonna get Scruffy's food now. So let's see. I saw Scruffy this afternoon on the table sleeping. Didn't see him making biscuits this time. And then I don't think I saw him. Yeah, I didn't see him this morning. He was. I thought he'd be out in the deck or out in the rocks or something to get the sunbathe because yeah, the sun came out. But yeah, I didn't see him. But yeah, he was. I think resting here at lunchtime. So he was. I think he was actually asleep. So I woke him up. But yeah, he was kind of waiting for me. I think. Hey, Scruffy. How you doing? Got kibble and water. So it stopped raining, huh? Actually looks pretty nice right now. I thought it was going to rain today. But it looks like it's going to be dry and sunny. So I'm going to walk past you. Okay, let me. So I was going to try to walk past you, but I figured you'd probably hiss at me. I can feel the sun. It's nice and warm. So I went for a run today. Normally I'd probably go for a bike ride, but I was worried it'd be too muddy. So I went for a run. Probably wasn't a great idea. I just, it's kind of low energy. Couldn't keep a pace today. Probably should have did interval run instead of a long run. So I think in the second lap, I kind of realized my mistake. So I tried to sprint a couple sections, then converted into a interval run. But yeah, at that point, yeah, it was already really low energy. It didn't go so well. I think I ended up walking most of the third lap, and then said, "Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with the fourth." Didn't see many animals today. I think they're all hiding because the ground's all muddy. Saw one squirrel. No cats. Temperature wasn't too bad today. It warmed up a little. I thought it was supposed to rain today, and I thought it was supposed to be cold, but yeah, complete opposite. So it was actually kind of a nice day, just muddy. It looks like the forecast is the next 2 days are showing rain, so this might just be a temporary break in the pattern. I think the temperature is supposed to stay up though, so maybe the coldest parts have passed for now. Because a few days ago we got pretty close to freezing. Well, not that close, but we're getting there. Oh, I think last night, just right before I went to bed, I was just kind of rinsing off some of the dishes and pots. I wasn't going to throw away washing. I wanted them to soak. And I thought I caught a glimpse of Scruffy out here on the big table. It's hard to see in the dark. I didn't want to turn on the lights and disturb him, but I thought I saw him. So he might have been hanging out on the table late last night. I don't know where he goes at night, so I know sometimes he leaves, the backyard and goes out in the front, and I've seen him out crossing the street and other people in front of other people's houses. So I know he doesn't necessarily stay here. Um, but yeah, occasionally I see him come back here. And he's on the table or on the orange chair or maybe on the gray mat or something. But most of the time I don't see him. A couple times I actually did film it. He was in a different section of the yard. There was another corner of the house. There was like a little bench, and they put a blanket on top of it to keep all the air pollutants and dust and whatever soot off of everything. And Scruffy, I've seen, recorded him a few times actually, but this is probably over a year ago, and we sleep on there sometimes. I haven't seen him there in a long time. But I also know cats move; they rotate their places frequently. Their sleep places. I read that they do that, I guess, as a natural defensive pattern, or at least it's believed to be. So they will always sleep in the same place for a little bit, and then they pick a new spot. And I guess that's uh, I think it's believed it's supposed to prevent or to make it harder for predators to find them. So if they're constantly moving around, predators won't learn that they're in the same spot all the time. I think that's a theory. But yeah, definitely with Scruffy, I've noticed that he seems to shift his pattern around every few days, a week or something like that. So I never see him quite in the same place all the time. He'll be there for a couple days in a row, and then he'll pick a new spot. Doesn't have to be very far from the old spot, but he does move. But then after a while, he'll just move somewhere completely different. So like for periods of time, I won't see him on the table at all, and then suddenly he'll start being on the table, but he'll start picking different places on the table. So he'll rotate among the table and then disappear for a long time. So on the big table, a lot of times I'll see him sleeping in different positions next to the sun oven, and then other times he's on the white comforter on different sides of it, and then he'll be in the blue box or the box with the blue blanket sometimes, and then sometimes he'll be it's like an old metal box, has a flat metal plate against it, and it's from that's the piece that broke from my old air conditioning, and I noticed Scruffy sometimes sleeps against it. I think particularly in the summer when it's hot. I'm guessing the little metal plate conducts heat well, so when it's up against his back, it has a cooling sensation. So when it's hot, it probably cools him down a little bit when he's sleeping. Probably feels nice. And then sometimes I see him sleep on the orange chair. Not often, but yeah, sometimes I'll certainly see him there. And he'll be there for a few days, and then he'll stop doing that, and then sometime down the line he'll be back on the orange chair. Yep, we gave Scruffy too much food again. Took him a while to eat. So I think I see one of the chunks of liver that I broke off. So I think he's eating that right now. Yep, he just dropped it. I probably should have cut it a little smaller. Didn't think he'd have a problem with it. I think I broke it into threes or something like that. So the other parts are still in the fridge. And then I don't know what the other lizard or the turkey gizzards are. I think I'll leave the balls for Scruffy. So I think one of that's probably the heart, and then I don't know what the other gizzard is. I usually don't eat chicken hearts or turkey hearts, but I remember going to a Brazilian restaurant, Brazilian barbecue, and yeah, they're like experts at meat, and boy, yeah, it's so good. If you haven't done Brazilian barbecue, it's incredible. But yeah, the short story is, yeah, they basically come around with skewers of meats, different types of meats, and basically it's all you can eat. So basically, you can just uh, keep trying all sorts of different meats until you explode. And anyway, yeah, the heart part is, yeah, one of the things on the menu at the restaurant I was at, yeah, was chicken hearts. And yeah, I tried them, and yeah, they're actually pretty good. But yeah, everything at that restaurant was really good. So they really know how to prepare their food. I trust that the turkey heart that I cooked here is probably pretty bland. No seasoning whatsoever. I, yeah, screwed up. I didn't realize. So I was looking for the innards and I didn't find them. So I checked the turkey cavity. I found the neck, but I didn't find anything else. So I just assumed it didn't. My turkey didn't come with it. And then after I cooked the turkey, I found in the where they cut off the head, they had shoved they had shoved the bag of the gizzards basically in that cavity, and the skin was stretched over it, so you couldn't really see it. And so it cooked in the bag. Fortunately, it was I think a wax bag, so the bag didn't melt and catch on fire. It was a plastic bag. I'd rather be screwed because the plastic probably would melt it and make my turkey tap toxic. And then I have to throw the whole thing away. So I guess they get that problem a lot. So they at least know don't put it in a plastic bag. People like me are gonna cook it. Okay, folks. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.